Kakamega Showground in Kakamega County. It is the final of the 2022-2023 Kenya Cup. It has been an exciting season, 11 weeks, and then knockout action that was last week. And now the two teams that remain standing, the defending champions Kabras Sugar in the yellow strip, and their arch nemesis over the last decade or so, KCB, former champions looking to reclaim the title from Kabras Sugar. The action is live on this platform. My name is Michael Kwambo. I will be taking you through the day's commentary alongside my analyst Elijah Toili, former Kenya international. He will be updating us with the statistics from the match, and as we just see there, the governor of Kakamega County, His Excellency CPA Fernandez Baraza, just having a meet and greet with the match officials before the game kicks off. We are looking forward to a great game of rugby, Toili.
Yes, indeed, Kwambo. It's going to be a fantastic final. The build-up has been good. The crowds, people have traveled all the way from Nairobi and countrywide. So it's going to be a good game. A few tweaks in the lineups from the last time the two teams met, which betrays the tactics that are being employed by the coaches on both sides. So it's a new game. Yeah.
Definitely a new game, but the same old rivals. These teams have met in 6 of the last 8 Kenya Cup finals. And just looking at the lineups, we will be bringing them up to you shortly. It will be the host team, Kabras Sugar, in the yellow. Of course, they are undergoing the final match rituals. There's the battery from the press. There is the aficionados who have come here for this game. But that aside, it is definitely going to be an exciting fixture. Center referee for this match is Victor Odwar, officiating his 100th game since he became a match official way back in 2011. Over 12 years of officiating experience. Victor Odwar is a librarian at Bingesho Secondary School in Gilgil, has been through the Nakuru Rugby age grade system, but decided to take the officiating path. I can tell you that if you're in the vicinity of Kakamega, the vibe has been electric. The atmosphere in the stadium is electric. The numbers are massive, and we are looking forward to a great afternoon of rugby. Will it be KCB reclaiming the title? Will it be Kabras defending the title? This game will be starting any moment now. It will be KCB kicking into Kabras. Shaban Ahmed back in the KCB squad after close to a month out due to injury. For Kabras Sugar, we have seen the likes of George Nyambua starting again. He is the matchday captain. Jone Kubu will be at fullback, and Ntabeni Dukisa from the fly half role. Remember, these teams met close to 3 weeks ago in Kenya Cup Match Day 10 action at the KCB Sports Club in Ruaraka. Kabras Sugar emerged victorious on that day, 29-23. The big question this afternoon is who will emerge victorious? Remember, you have to win today's game to be crowned the Kenya Cup champion. Toili, your thoughts on the game?
We're expecting more of the same from last time, with a few tweaks here and there. Looking at Shaban starting at number 10 for Waihenya, who started last time Kabras met with KCB. I think from that game, KCB learned a lot about their exit game. And looking at that tweak, we know Shaban has a good foot on him, and he's got a good boot that will enable them get out of their areas quite easily. Also moving Darwin from number 15 to 14 is also going to help a lot with the aerial balls and options at the wide channels, and bringing in Isaac Njoroge. Same as we look at Tanga coming in at 10. We know that he's a straight runner. He likes exploiting gaps. And the channel at KCB at number 10, 12, 13 is going to be tested today, because he runs directly and attacks the line, plays the ball flat at the line. So it's going to be an interesting match to see how that happens. Also looking at Kubu coming in later on in the game, for probably slotting at 15, when the boys, the back lines are tired, and he has a good step on him, sufficient pace. It's a good game to watch, and it's going to go down to the wire.
Definitely, and it is going to be value for money for the fans who have made their way to the Kakamega Showground, the home ground of Kabras Sugar. Remember, they are the defending Kenya Cup champions. They are hosting this game because they finished top of the league during the Kenya Cup season. And starting for Kabras Sugar, Ephraim Odwar, Eugene Sifuna, Hilary Mwanjilwa in the front row. In the second row, we have Eliphas Omong and Brian Juma. Back row has Dan Sikuta, Jinson Musoga, and George Nyambua. Dan Angwech at fly half. Ntabeni Dukisa at 10. Alfred Orege at 11. The midfield is Walter Okoth and Bryson Adaka. On the wings, we do have Alfred Orege, Matthias Asimbo, and at fullback, Jone Kubu. There have been late changes to the Kabras lineup, Toili, and we have only just seen them on the field of play, but that it is. For KCB, a changed midfield pairing. Remember, they started the last game against Kabras with a pairing of Bob Muhati and Festus Shiasi in the midfield. It is Peter Kilonzo and Max Kangeri starting at 12 and 13. The team obviously is led out by Oscar Simiu, Wilfred Waswa, and Curtis Lilako in the front row, Elvis Olukusi and Davis Chenge in the second row. The back row is Felix Ojo, Andrew Amonde, and Peter Waitere. Scrum half is Samuel Asati, while on the wings we do have Darwin Mukidza and Jacob Oje. Isaac Njoroge starting at fullback for this game. A few minutes before kickoff, and we are looking forward to a great game of rugby. Because I've seen. Well, obviously, the kickoff has been delayed. It is the referee's prerogative to start the game when he feels it is safe enough to start the game. We have been overwhelmed by numbers coming to this fixture. It is the Kenya Cup final. Kabras Sugar in the yellow against KCB in the white. The winner of this game will be crowned the champions of Kenya for the season 2022-2023. And just looking at the way the both teams performed during the season, Kabras finished top of the log during the regular season, winning all 11 of their games. They have been very disciplined on defense. KCB, on the other hand, have scored the highest points during the league phase of the season. Last weekend was the semi-final fixtures, and Kabras defeated Kenya Harlequin 22-8 at this very ground, while KCB were 38-20 winners over Menengai Oilers in Ruaraka. And that is what set up this match here at the Kakamega Showground. This is the 6th time these two teams are meeting in the final. It is KCB with a better finals record, having won all of their 5 previous finals against Kabras Sugar. Kabras, however, 2 Kenya Cups that have come in the last 7 seasons. In 2016, they defeated Impala Saracens by 22 points to 3 to claim that year's title. And then last season, we remember that electrifying game at the Bull Ring, still here in Kakamega, a game that ended 35-28. Shaban Ahmed just having a feel of the ball as we await the final decision from the referee. I think he has released his assistant referees, Constant Cap and Duncan Kioko. Any moment now, we will be bracing ourselves for high-octane rugby. It is the 2022-2023 Kenya Cup final. It is live from the Kakamega Showground in Kakamega County. And if you're joining us, we do hope that you enjoy the rugby this afternoon. And from the kickoff, it is Kabras in possession. Jone Kubu, Tabeni Dukisa looking to step past his first defender, which he does. Kabras keeping the ball alive. They play it to Jone Kubu. Remember the last time he destroyed KCB with his territorial kicking, a big kick downfield. It is fielded by Isaac Njoroge. He was being assisted by Samuel Asati, and Njoroge relieving the pressure, kicking it out to touch. There is a lot of experience in the two sides. Just looking at the back rows for Kabras Sugar, we have former Kenya Sevens captain Dan Sikuta. We have George Nambua. And we do have the youngster Jinson Musoga. And taking the line out throw for Kabras Sugar is Eugene Sifuna, Kenyan international. It is Kabras keeping it alive. Dan Sikuta. But Kabras guilty of the infringement there. It is the decision for KCB just above the halfway line. And consultation between Constant Cap, the assistant referee, and the center referee for this game, Victor Odwar. And it is a penalty to Kabras Sugar. KCB have been penalized for infringing in the line-out. And it is something that they will have to watch out for throughout the 80 minutes of this fixture. Big kick downfield from Ntabeni Dukisa. And early moments in this match before capacity crowd here at the Kakamega Showground. There were well over 5,000 fans crammed into the Kakamega Showground. All the seats are available and they have been occupied. And many more fans standing. And from the line out, wonderfully taken by Kabras Sugar. Looking to maul. KCB again penalized. And the big question is, do you go for the 3? Do you go for the 5? Another infringement in the line out, costing KCB early on. And as we said moments ago, the decision is taken to go for the 3 points. It will be the trusted boot of Ntabeni Dukisa to look to break the stalemate in this fixture. Dukisa with the approach for goal. It sails wide from a rather straightforward position. Could it be the early nerves? Could it be that it is a final match and not a league match that is creeping into the kicker?
Yes, definitely, Kwambo. Early tension, nerves in the first kick of the game. But a good start from Kabras. They have ventured into KCB's territory, into their 22, and managed at their first opportunity to get a penalty, which they have attempted to go for points. And that should give them a good stead for the next few minutes.
And from that kick downfield, it is Kabras again in possession. The tackle is made. There looks to have been a spilt ball, but doesn't matter. KCB committing themselves on defense, forcing Kabras on the back foot. But this is Ephraim Odwor, Kenyan international prop. And the penalty, again, the decisions in the breakdown going against KCB early on. I think they need to watch the defensive discipline. Toile.
Yes, early exuberance from the defenders, and you can see in the way they are rushing their tackles. However, in that particular event, the ruck, they used their hands, they didn't go over the ball, they just used their hands to get to the ball, and that gives Kabras an opportunity to venture into KCB's territory once more. Early enough here, we can see a lot of penalties being considered by KCB. I think they need to settle down and just go for the long haul.
And what do you do if you're Kabras Sugar in these early moments?
Keep doing what they're doing, play closer to their forwards, tempting KCB to go for the racks and hoping for infringements, which gives them opportunity to venture into KCB's territory. So they're on the right track.
Definitely. We are looking for a game of rugby here at the Kakamega Showground. That's a big drive from the Kabras forwards, forcing KCB on the back foot. And finally, a decision that goes KCB's way, the accidental offside against Kabras Sugar. That's the first penalty that KCB have won in this half. Remember, it is the Kenya Cup final. It is being played before a capacity crowd here at the Kakamega Showground. Center referee Victor Odwor is officiating his 100th game. He joins the Centurions Club, and kudos to him. Has been a loyal servant of the game. It is KCB in possession, and that is the veteran Andrew Monde. He is driven back, but the bankers keeping the ball alive, and that is big Max Kangeri making his second appearance this season. That's the captain Lilako. The ball is spilled forward by the bankers. Advantage Kabras Sugar. And this is quite contrary from the last time these two teams met 3 weeks ago. Obviously, everybody keeping themselves in check. It is a tight game so far, but we definitely do expect it to open up later on. And the kick, it was a cheeky kick from Jone Kubu, punishing the defenders. That was Alfred Orege first on the scene, but it will be a line-out throw for KCB. There was a bit of social media antics before kickoff. Kabras Sugar omitting Jone Kubu and George Nambua from the starting lineup, leading to a lot of speculation, but only to give their final lineup moments to the fixture with Jone Kubu and George Nambua reinstated. And as we speak, that is Brian Juma driving forward, running into the white wall. The advantage is with the Sugarmen for the high tackle. Ephraim Odwor, that's a massive break from the big man. Not so often that you see a prop attacking space. The crowd here is rapturous. Kabras driving forward, looking for the opening points of the game. They do have KCB on the back foot, and that's the captain, Big George Nyambua. But he's being slowed down by his former opponent, former clubmate at Kisumu, Andrew Monde. That is Juma again. Try line is in sight. He's stopped inches short. Referee Victor Odwor is playing the advantage. Kubu with the pass to Alfred Orege. Orege steps in. Kabras building another platform. And we did say that penalty had been coming for moments. Two successive high tackles from the bankers. Victor Odwor was playing the advantage, but eventually it is the penalty awarded to Kabras Sugar. Rather straightforward and in front of the posts. Ntabeni Dukisa definitely has to make something out of this kick. And it is Jone Kubu who has taken over the kicking duties from Ntabeni Dukisa. Remember, he missed a penalty attempt 10 minutes ago. And those are the opening points of the game. Jone Kubu's penalty puts Kabras ahead. 3-0 the score here at the Kakamega Showground. If you're joining us, this is the Kenya Cup final. The winner of this game is crowned the champion of Kenya for the season 2022-2023. Has been an exciting season. Shaban Ahmed with the restart for KCB. Fielded by Dan Angwech, but under pressure. Angwech does well. Possession for Kabras Sugar. They look to create a platform for an exit play. The penalty advantage goes to the bankers. It is in a straightforward position, Toili. What would you do? Are you going to run the ball or are you going to kick for points?
Definitely, being a final, you have to go for the points. Keep the scoreboard ticking. Never let your opponent have more than 7 points on you. But a good start from KCB. First visit into the Kabras 22. First opportunity for points. So if they do that, they'll stay in the game. But Kabras have started strongly, as they always do. And the game looks like it's settling down right now.
KCB electing to look for territory, trusting themselves in the forwards. Yeah, that is a statement of intent from the bankers playing in the away strip, in the white strip. And from the line out throw, the ball is lost. Costly decision there. Excitement of the crowd at the Kakamega Showground. And it is carried into contact. Angwech Dukisa, a big kick from the fly half. It is fielded by Darwin Mukidza. He has Isaac Njoroge in support. Mukidza with a change of direction as he just crosses the halfway line, running into a wall of Kabras defenders. But the penalty advantage is with the bankers. Indeed, Victor Odwar awarding the penalty to the bankers right on the halfway mark. Kabras guilty of the infringement there. KCB again will be looking for territory. And you know, just totally looking at the midfield battle, there's a battle of heavyweights there. You look at Walter Okoth and Bryce Onadaka, but the men they're up against are no slouches. Maxwell Kanyeri and Peter Kilonzo. And I'm sure that will be one impact area this afternoon.
Sure, indeed. Max never started the last game that Kabras played against KCB, and KCB lost. They didn't have proper front foot. So his main job description today is to give KCB an opportunity at the front football.
And that ball is fielded by Sam Asati. Beating a second. Asati. That is a massive ground gained for the bankers by Samuel Asati. International scrum half. The ball is on the floor. The advantage is with the bankers. Kabras guilty of the offside. KCB, they may be trailing, but they are not out of this game. 3-0 is a very precocious scoreline to lead. We are definitely set up for an arm wrestle here at the Kakamega Showground. A good game of rugby, a great crowd in a great town. Samuel Asati with the scrum feed for the bankers. If you're joining us, this is the Kenya Cup final. KCB and Kabras Sugar. Kabras Sugar, the defending champions, playing in the yellow and green strip. KCB are in the white strip. It is KCB with the scrum feed just outside the Kabras 22. And this is Asati. Knocks on that anxiety, the nerves checking in. Toili, you've played these high pressure games. What do you need to do in such scenarios?
Definitely, Asati just needs to do the basics, right? In that particular instance, the move was already there. You could see Max setting himself up to carry heavily across to Okoth. And I think he was so eager to have that ball out immediately. It just needs to come down there in a proper position, a really good position. However, I think he's a quick learner. He's played in these games before, so that should be a one-off error.
Certainly, and that is how cheaply you cede possession. It is now, from a point of scoring a possible 3 points, you're now in a scenario where you may concede 5 points, 7 if the try is converted. But it's all about what Kabras Sugar is going to do with the ball from this resulting scrum down. Dan Angwech, the former Kisumu RFC man, playing it to Walter Okoth, and we talked about the big man, and those are some deft skills. The ball is on the loose. It is Isaac Njoroge going into the tackle. He looks uncomfortable. He is in pain. But the play continues here. The chase is on for the ball. Again, out to touch. It is cleaned up by Jacob Oje. Isaac Njoroge, though, doesn't look to be comfortable. Will be the last. Will this be the last that we're seeing of Njoro in this game? Because he threw himself into committing that ball from the initial chip kick from Walter Okoth. Scores remain 3-0 here at the Kakamega Showground. It is the final of the 2022-2023 Kenya Cup. The quest to be crowned the champions of Kenyan club rugby in process here. That was clever, really, from Walter Okoth. And Kabras have gotten the penalty. Jone Kubu has lined up the kicking tee, obviously looking to stretch the lead for the home team, Kabras.
Yes, and looking at what is happening here, Kabras are playing a very intelligent game, attacking close to the line, KCB defense line, and then mixing it up, carrying the ball, doing grabber kicks. So far in this game, they have done 6 attacking kicks. KCB haven't done any 6 attacking kicks. And you can see that keeps the KCB line guessing. And if you look at what Max and Kilonzo have been tasked to do, whenever they rush up, they get a grabber kick.
And the kick is sure. Actually, it is lost from Jone Kubu. The scores remain 3-0 to Kabras Sugar. High octane action here at the Kakamega Showground. This game is so big that there was a corresponding fixture in the Kenyan Premier League between Kakamega Homeboys and Kenya Police FC. The game has been postponed to Sunday at the Buhungu Stadium, and if you're still in Kakamega, you can catch that if you're a lover of sports. And if you're a lover of high contact action, definitely stay with us here as Kabras Sugar take on KCB. Running the ball, looking to stretch the forwards, but that ball traveled forward. Advantage KCB. It will be a scrum feed for the bankers after that ball traveled forward. The clouds gathering over the Kakamega Showground. Advantage KCB. Shaban Ahmed has been rather quiet, but brings in Max Kengari. Almost spilled that ball. Does well to keep it. Peter Waitere driving forward. It is still the bankers in possession. Max Kangeri looking uncomfortable. Play continues. The ball is kicked behind. Victor Odor will be giving KCB the penalty. But more concerning for the bankers is that their inside center, Max Kangeri, is looking desolate, in pain, in discomfort. Looks to have pulled up rather uncomfortably after going into contact.
Yeah, he's coming to the game with a heavily strapped right knee, and he was always going to be a target because of the way he plays. He's a hard carrier of the ball, and in that instance, the ball never came to him cleanly. He had to readjust his upper frame to grab the ball, and in that case, exposed himself to the defense. I think in that way he lost the momentum to go into contact, and the resultant thing now is that he has to be looked and checked up. We hope that he's okay, so that we can see more of him in the game.
And Toili, just looking at the atmosphere, looking at the crowd here at the Kakamega Showground, and the fact that, like we mentioned moments earlier, KPL game pushed to Sunday. What does it talk about the potential of Kakamega, about the atmosphere here, the love for sport?
Whenever Kabras have hosted the Kenya Cup finals, the turnout has been massive. Speaks volumes of how far rugby has come, especially in Western. And you look at the turnout here, this is what you'll wish for even an international match in Kenya when it comes to rugby. So there's no doubt that rugby, being able to push a Kenya Football Premier League match to another alternative date, that's a big statement for Kenya rugby.
Another bigger statement, do you think this ground can host an international fixture?
I think there will be room for improvement. Kakamega has got Bukungu Stadium, very well rehabilitated, fantastic looking. We've seen it on television many times. This game would have seated well if it were there. Nonetheless, it's a good game that we're watching here, and the turnout is fantastic.
Over to you guys at Kenya Rugby. Anyway, we are focusing on the action here at the Kenya Cup final. It is Kabras Sugar and KCB contesting for the league title. The winner of this game will be crowned the champion of the 2022-2023 season. And these two teams, the most consistent teams over the last decade, indeed they have met in 6 of the last 8 Kenya Cup finals that Kabras have played in. It's 3-0. It is a tight game. Olukusi wins that ball, brings in the veteran Andrew Amonde. Amonde to Felix Ojo, but the tackle from Dukisa, decisive, stopping the momentum. But KCB recycled that ball. Waitere looking for the floor. He finds it. Asati, Amonde again. He is a busybody in these early moments of the fixture. Asati again calls for that ball. The reverberating Sikuti drums behind us make us want to shake our shoulders, but we must focus on the fixture at hand. That is Darwin Mukidza starting today on the wing, gaining ground for the bankers. Asati. This is Shaban Ahmed, but he is slowed down, but still creates a platform for his forwards. Asati. Big Davis Chenge used to play rugby at Western Bulls. That is a line break from Felix Ojo. KCB enjoying a good spell of territory and possession, and then losing the ball rather cheaply. It is knocked on by Ojo as he went to the floor. This game can change in the blink of an eye, and that is ideally what is happening. And if you blink your eyes to the scoreboard, it is Kabras Sugar leading KCB by 3-0. Remember, this is the Kenya Cup final. It is live and coming to you from the not KCB Sports Club, from the Kakamega Showground in Kakamega County. Well, this game, I think it has served up everything that a final is supposed to serve up. Massive crowds, tension on the field, tight scores. Fans definitely getting their money's worth here at the Kakamega Showground. Angwech, Dukisa, Adaka, the Kenyan international, with the first step. He's slowed down by his international colleague, Peter Kilonzo. But Peter Kilonzo penalized for not rolling away. The advantage is with Kabras Sugar. Busoga running into Jacob Oje. That is furious from Kabras. Kubu. Referee Victor Dror will be playing the advantage from earlier on. Kabras Sugar with the front foot as they look to extend their slender lead. 3-0. We're heading into midway through the first half. This is the Kenya Cup final coming to you from Kakamega County. Big kick downfield. Advantage Kabras. And to all our viewers watching us all over the world, Vincent Chua in the United States of America, Charles Chakua Nyauma, Paul Polosa in Dubai, and many, many more We do hope that you are enjoying this game, coming to you live from the Kakamega Showground. It is the 2022-2023 Kenya Cup final. One team will be crowned the winner. Will it be KCB? Will it be Kabras defending their title? This is Kabras looking for the ball inside the KCB 22, but Sam Asati's body position indicates that the bankers are looking to exit. That is Mukidza with the chip, but he was well aware of the advantage being played by the referee. Victor Odror, remember this is his 100th game. Has been a referee since 2011, 12 years and going. Averaging 10 games per season. Still is a young man. Hasn't clocked the official age of veterans. Therefore still has a bright future. And during his time, he has officiated at the World Rugby Junior Trophy in Hong Kong and in Zimbabwe in successive years. Has also been on the panel of Rugby Africa referees. And I must say it is a great milestone to celebrate.
Yeah. He has earned his stripes. It's good to have such level of officiating amongst our ranks here in Kenya, and seeing them doing international duty really encourages more people to join the refereeing profession.
Indeed. As play continues, this is Andrew Amonde, has been seeing a lot of the ball for KCB. Felix Ojo going into contact, finds the floor. The penalty advantage is still with the bankers. Kabras guilty of not releasing, and that is Kenya captain Dan Sikuta was excellent in the 29-23 regular season win over KCB a few weeks ago.
Yes, indeed. I think playing at home also comes with its own heavy burden, and being the captain, I think he's trying to. Being amongst the captain committee, he's trying to lead from the front. So, well, on that one he was caught, and that helps KCB to get into Kabras territory. KCB have one glaring weakness in this game so far. Lost 2/3 of their lineouts. They've got really poor lineouts. They have to polish on that if they have to gain possession.
Certainly, but as we speak, the commentators cast striking there because Felix Ojo claims that lineout ball sets up the platform as they look to enter the Kabras 22. The hit from Dukisa. It looked high, and I do believe there is a consultation between the center referee Victor Odror and the captain George Nambua. It will be a penalty for the bankers. One thing that baffles me, though, it's a final, but KCB are within striking range of the post, but electing to look for territory from all the penalties they've got.
Yes, and so far not bearing fruit. They had one which they had in the Kabras 22. They elected to go for a scrum down, lost it when Asati knocked on. There is another one, they went for a line out, lost the line out. So I think at some point they have to be pragmatic enough and start taking the 3 points.
Definitely, and you speak about pragmatism, and that is what Kabras Sugar have done. From 3 goal attempts on the KCB posts, they've scored 1, and that is what gives them the 3-0 lead. And they're definitely heads up, and should lightning strike, should hailstones strike, and should the game be called off, that 3 will be enough for them to take the title.
Remember also the Enterprise Cup that was played. There were no tries. The game ended 9-6. So who knows? And every 3-pointer should be taken.
Certainly, it is a final. There's no other league match to look forward to. Anyway, we are here in the commentary booth. The players are there on the field. They're the ones executing their plans. Sam Asati with the feed. That is a Monday from number 8. KCB attacking down the right flank, but they're marshaled into touch. It will be a Kabras Sugar line out. Well, this game has really been start-stop. But like we said, what to expect from a final match? The two best teams left standing in the Kenya Cup in 2022-2023. It is not ironic that they finished in positions 1 and 2, and even when Kabras defeated KCB, it was only 6 points that separated the two sides. The team most potent in attack against the team most lethal in defense. Meeting this afternoon, that is Shaban Ahmed. Johnston Olindi on as an early replacement. It is KCB with the front foot as they look to breach the Kabras 22. Asati sniping at the base, beats one man, gains 2 meters forward. Elvis Olukusi driving forward for the bankers. Asati with the change of direction. Oscar Simiu, the St. Peter's Mumias alumnus, carries the ball 2 meters forward. Njoroge plays it out wide. This is Kangeri. Kangeri into contact. And then the momentum is stopped by the referee's whistle. But that was surely looking to be an exciting face of play. Kabras Sugar caught offside, and that was an interesting replacement. Max Kangeri off. Johnson Olindi is starting at 12. He's not a big man. He's tall, yes, but he's more of a silky player, not the kind of player that you expect to always run at you and always, cause you to carry the ball, right?
Yeah, clearly. And the first touch of the ball, you could see what he did. He stepped off Walter and left him, grasping in the air. But that's what Olindi will bring, the indecision at number 12-13 at Kabras. So it's an interesting one. It's a forced substitution, but also changes the game and also gives Kabras something to think about.
Yeah, the comments you've heard from Toili, he's speaking as somebody who's played at 12 and 13 at the highest level, so he knows what he's talking about. As we speak, it is a reversal of the decision. There's an elbow in that phase of play, therefore KCB were penalized. 3-0, this game remains finely poised. We're a few minutes out from halftime. The diving pass from Angwech, the ball getting Kabras on the back foot. This is excitement from the Kabras crowd, but that ball traveled forward. Could it be the line pressure from KCB forcing Kabras into the rushed pass, or could it be the eagerness from Kabras to get forward?
I think KCB employing the same rush defense that we normally see in the international scene when Springboks are playing, forcing the ball to go out wide. Two things happen. If it's a good pressure defense, there'll be a forward, or the ball carrier will be forced to come back in, and that's what KCB are hoping for. Twice that has gone in their favor. The ball going to the winger has always been a forward, and I think it's working for KCB so far. The danger with that is that if it's a clean pass,
wrestle between the two wingers, both of them going to the floor, KCB recycling, and that is Waitere. KCB again keeping it alive. Darwin Mukidza. Asati. The big hit on Waitere excites the crowd, but KCB keeping possession. Asati forced to defend against a yellow wall of Kabras Sugarmen. This is Davis Chenge. No love lost between him and his opponents from Kabras Sugar. The ball carried forward by the bankers again. Asati brings in Oscar Simiu, the former Kenyan international prop forward. Shaban Ahmed. KCB driving forward. Another breach into the Kabras 22. Asati looks for that ball. He finds it. He gets it. Keeps it tight. And then the knock on. But the referee, Victor Odor, was playing the advantage. It is a penalty to the bankers. Certainly they have enjoyed the last 6 or so minutes of play. They have Kabras on the back foot, but they need points on the board because it is 3-0. Nothing to show for their visits to the Kabras 22. And after unsuccessful attempts in looking for territory, they elect to go for goal. It will be Darwin Mukidza kicking for goal from this particular position.
One thing that KCB have been good at in this game, they've been able to play around 4 passages of play where they've done more than 7 faces. And that has contributed to them having proper territory and enjoying opportunities. But this is going to be a crucial kick for them.
And Mukidza, under the boos from the Kabras fans, was not going to get that through, but a statement of intent, like you mentioned. The miss excites the crowds here. The scores remain 3-0. The first half slowly but surely coming to an end. It has been an exciting 40 minutes. Everything you need in a cup final. Everything you need in a league final. Everything you need in Kakamega. It is being served up here at the Kakamega Showground. Kick downfield. Isaac Njoroge has no problem fielding it. He has men in support, Andrew Amonde, but Njoroge beats the defenders. That's a clever run from Njoroge. Then the kick downfield, the chase is on. This is KCB on the attack. Ladies and gentlemen, the ball is lost. We'll await the confirmation. The ball looked to have been grounded, but indeed it was knocked on the try line by KCB. It will be a 22. It will be a goal line dropout for Kabras Sugar. But that was clever from the little fullback, Isaac Njoroge. Mike Kimwele sacrificed in the starting 15. But this is Mukidza again. Darwin Mukidza, silky runner. Doesn't look like he has pace, but the meters he eats up every time he has the ball. Very deceptive. That is Davis Chenge. Shaban Ahmed. Njoroge again. Realizing that he was isolated, goes into contact. And then the ball is lost by Jacob Oje. And kicked out. Big defensive shift from both sets of backs. And also this game, a total contrast from the regular season game 3 weeks ago. Remember, at this point, Kabras were leading by 16 points to 0. Now it's 3-0, but they find themselves on the back foot. But also, good teams know to absorb pressure and strike on the counter, and we know that that is not lost on Kabras.
Yeah, looking at the last 10 minutes, KCB have enjoyed territory, massive territory. They have played in Kabras half. However, Kabras have been resolute in defense, showing what they have done the whole season. Very tough defense, and they have not conceded even the 3 points. So KCB have a lot to work. Actually, they know they're in a finals. But I think it's a good watch. Definitely a good watch for everyone. I hope you're enjoying it from wherever you are. And even with a small break, looks like we have like less than 2-3 minutes before halftime. And KCB in the right territory currently.
Certainly, and a lot of anxious KCB fans watching this game at the KCB Sports Club in Ruaraka will be following the proceedings. Also, a lot of anxious fans here at the Kakamega Showground. Many of them Kabras diehards. I mean, we sampled the views of the fans over the past few days, and it was overwhelming, the support. Obviously, you're playing the final in your hometown, but it's also a good thing that the rugby has attracted the attention of the entire town. And like we said earlier, a good win for sport, a good win for rugby. It will be a scrum feed for Kabras Sugar. Dan Angwech. attacking from the blind, kicks it downfield. Njoroge has been assured at fullback for KCB. Can't take that away from him. But that kick, I guess it was the commentator's curse striking. Dan Sikuta in possession, a rare dummy from the forward. Dan Sikuta, usually a route one man, but also showing that away from being a hardcore rapper, he can once in a while sing. And there is an infringement that has been called by the assistant referee. There will be in consultation. Constant Cap and Victor Dwar. And there was a high impact collision between the two prop forwards, Ephraim Odor and George Nambua, actually, the Kabras captain, and Oscar Simiu. That's over 240 kilos meeting in high impact.
Yeah, high velocity.
And it's part of the reason the game has stopped minutes before halftime. Two high-speed trains crashing into each other. And so from the ensuing decision, it will be a penalty for Kabras Sugar. There was a late tackle that was caught by the assistant referee, and it will be Ntabeni Dukisa looking to use his powerful striking range and extend the lead for Kabras Sugar. Has been a finely contested first half. This will be the fourth goal attempt for Kabras Sugar. One has been successful so far. Big kick downfield. But again, it had the power, it had the distance, it lacked the accuracy, and that is the last order of business for the first half. And joining us very briefly is Kenyan international and Menengai Oilers scrum half Samson Onsomu. Your take on the first half?
I mean, it's a tight game. It's a championship. I mean, it's a final. There's pressure both sides, but I think it's a battle of territorial battle. I mean, who is playing where? You get? I mean, I'm seeing experienced players missing points. I mean, those are like 5 points for Kabras that they've left outside here. And even I've seen Dukiza missing, Darwin missing, Kubu missing a point. I mean, there's pressure, but it all depends where you're playing the ball from. I think, I mean, it's going to be a tight game. I mean, it's a game of small margins.
Yeah. Thank you very much. A game of small margins. We'll catch up with you at the end of the game. Cheers. We are back for the second half. Kabras Sugar not only changing sides but changing strips as well. And making a change as well in their backline. We'll confirm it in a few moments. However, it is KCB and Kabras. Ball is kicked downfield by Asati, but fielded by Brian Tanga. Tanga carries the ball to the halfway line. Nyambua, the overlap for Kabras Sugar. Bryson Adaka goes into contact. He had a man out wide in support. Tanga again just looking to dictate the pace of play from the halfback position. And that is a fair matchup between him and Samuel Asati. Kabras continue to drive forward. They have definitely started the second half with a lot of impetus. And actually a lot of changes for everybody. The referees also started the first half in pink. They are in yellow. The only changes we're not talking about here is Lenana School.
Very true, very true. I wonder what the reasoning is behind this. Maybe just some mind games. But yeah, interesting. Add spice to the game.
Definitely, it will be a penalty for Kabras. And again, the big boot of Ntabeni Dukisa will be tasked with extending the lead for the Sugarmen. It's a big kick for Dukisa. And he gets it between the posts. The score is extended for Kabras Sugar. Current scores: Kabras Sugar 6, KCB 0. The crowd here breaking into full voice. It is the Kenya Cup final. We still have all of about 37 or so minutes to play in the second half. But Kabras Sugar slowly but surely extending the lead. And results from two nationwide finals played this afternoon. Sigalagala defeating Kibabi 27-18 to win the Western Region nationwide title, while the AP Warriors defeating Makueni 15-8 to win the Nairobi nationwide league title. A lot more finals taking place this afternoon. We do have the KRU Championship final, the Women's Kenya Cup final between Wamba and Impala. But the game that is live is KCB and Kabras right here from the Kakamega Showground. It is the Bankers driving forward. Their first visit into the Kabras 22. Oscar Simiu does well to keep that ball, takes it 2 meters forward. The tackle from George Nambua not stopping his momentum. Asati delays the pass, was milking the penalty which he gets. Kabras caught offside. It will be a goal attempt. Darwin Mukidza looking to get KCB's first points of the afternoon. Mukidza is sure with the kick, 6-3. It remains tight here at the Kakamega Showground. The 6 buses of KCB fans breaking into ululation as they get their points on the board. This certainly has been an arm wrestle in the first half. Let's see what the second half holds. No tries, and it talks about the enormity of the defense that both sides are putting up, but also the enormity of nerves on both sides of the divide.
Indeed, Kwambo, and but there is a try in this game. Too many talented players in both squads, just playing in the right spaces, in the right areas of the pitch, and we should be able to see a try.
That's Peter Waitere. He drives forward. Looks messy on the floor. Kabras looked to have forced the turnover, but no. Shaban Ahmed, Mukidza, the change of direction, beats Nyambua barely just. Looking to find the floor, he lost the ball. Kabras forcing the turnover. The penalty is called for the high tackle. Victor Odor spot on with his call. Definitely the ball was loose. KCB were going to be on the back foot. The kick downfield, it's a big kick from Darwin Mukidza. The territorial advantage is with the bankers, declaring the intent as the second half trails on. Wilfred Waswa, former Kenya under-20 international, pinpoint delivery to Elvis Olukusi. Kabras again making it messy at the breakdown. It is the bankers, Oscar Simiu, they are just going head-to-head with Eugene Sifuna. KCB keeping it alive. Andrew Amonde driven back but keeps possession. Andrew Amonde has been there for all of KCB's battles over the past decade and a half. Has been a great servant of the game. The bankers entering the Kabras 22. They drive forward. Another big carry there from the KCB forwards. Davis Chenge. The tackle is big. It excites the crowd, but KCB still in possession. Kabras defending in numbers. Asati. KCB carry it forward 2 more meters. Shaban Ahmed. Njoroge. Jacob Oje beats one man. And then the advantage is with Kabras Sugar.
Indeed, KCB pulling another 7+ phase of game. However, they got caught running out of numbers and they found themselves having to defend in a ruck. There was a turnover, first turnover, a ruck turnover by Kabras in this game, and gives them a breather. They were really under the pump in their own 22. KCB trying as much as they can to pile pressure on Kabras defense, but they have remained resolute. Ref calling for a blood bin check on Dukiza. I think he got a hit on the head.
Well, this has been a fair contest so far. The margins, literally and figuratively, speaking volumes here. 6-3, testament of how tight this game has been. Penalty advantage is with Kabras Sugar, and Tabeni Dukisa just being touched up there by the Kabras Sugar physio. He took a heavy tackle from the prop forward Oscar Simiu. I do recall the 2021 final at Nandi Bears where, yes, Kabras Sugar lost, but he was the player of the match, put in a big performance on that day. Unfortunate to be on the losing side. He did win the Kenya Cup last season with the Kabras Sugar when they defeated the Oilers. It was an epic final at the Bull Ring, still in Kakamega town. And this obviously proving to be an epic final. The 2 best teams at the close of the regular season competing for the grand old prize of Kenyan rugby. Not the Enterprise Cup. My mind was in fast forward, but thinking about the Kenya Cup, the grand prize of Kenyan club rugby. It has been 12 exhilarating weeks of rugby. Remember, after this, we're heading into the knockouts with the Enterprise Cup next week. Has been a tight fixture so far.
Yeah, Kwambo, that's true. And hindsight might not be a good friend for KCB if they lose this match. They had 2 kickable penalties in the first half. Never got through to take that option. 6-3, very tight game. And it looks like it shall be a game that shall be decided by the smallest of margins.
Referee Victor Dwar calling for the high tackle on Brian Juma. The advantage is with Kabras Sugar. They will drive forward. The bandage Dukisa. Big kick downfield. Three points separating the two sides. The ball is claimed in the air by Dan Sikuta. Kabras mauling and driving forward, looking to breach the KCB 22. The crowd is excited. The forwards motivated. Meters being gained by Kabras Sugar. Tanga, Walter Koth bumping off one. The ball kept alive. The cover tackle there from Peter Kilonzo slowing down the momentum. The advantage still with Kabras Sugar. John Ekubu with the step, driving forward. Excitement galore in the stands here at the Kakamega Showground. The ball is out of play. Another goal attempt for Kabras Sugar. Like you said, a game of fine margins. The trusted boot of Ntabeni Dukisa called upon to deliver more points for the home team. At this point of the game, I dare say, you feel like it's beginning to slip away from KCB unless they do have a massive response. Kabras just beginning to get their noses ahead. And like you said earlier, using all the chances that are coming their way, regardless of whether they are 3 points or 5. Dukisa will be sure with this kick. I mean, just listen to that response from the crowd here. A response that we'd love to listen to in Kenyan rugby grounds week in, week out.
Sure, Kwambo. Comes with the benefit of being top in the league phases, having the opportunity to host the finals, having the crowd behind you, and every single cheer from the crowd drives Kabras to play even more. And KCB are beginning to have a mountain to climb here, given that there are no tries in this game, and the kickable opportunities are becoming at a premium right now. So KCB have to dig deeper to cover up now this 6-point gap.
Certainly 9-3 the scores here at the Kakamega Showground. It is the Kenya Cup final, the D-Day of the 2022-2023 Kenyan season. Kevin Wekesa coming in for Brian Juma. Kevin Wekesa gives you options, can play across the second and back row. Kenya Sevens international. Very enthusiastic player, very energetic. Massive carries from Kevin Wekesa. And obviously with about 25 minutes to go, will be called upon to get Kabras Sugar over the line. Remember one interesting statistic heading into this final. Kabras Sugar have never defeated KCB in a Kenya Cup final. 5 times they have met, 5 times KCB have won, but there's always an end to a story. Could this be the day? We'll wait and see. It is a penalty for the bankers. Indiscipline from the Sugarmen at the ruck. And again, the decision from KCB, the T has been brought into the field of play. That was literally a call from the bench. Darwin Mukidza not given an opportunity to decide, as you rightly put it so early. Will attempt to cut the deficit once again for the bankers. They have been second best thus far in this match. They have made changes in the forwards. Brian Munyali is on in the back row for the bankers. Pressure kick under the noisy fans from Kabras Sugar. But Darwin Mukidza, experienced kicker. They call him the smiling assassin, and they don't call him that for no reason. Drilling that ball between the sticks. 9-6. It is an arm wrestle here at the Kakamega Showground. Indeed, and just looking at the quality of this game, the script probably of this game, it's going to be decided by the next try, if that is scored. I think, like you whispered to me moments ago, the team that gets the 5-pointer definitely will run away with this game.
Yeah, because it will be a big momentum shift, and it will have to press in the minds of the defense that we haven't been able to score. This team has scored, and it changes the whole game. So whoever scores the first try might just have the momentum and close the game.
This is positive from Kabras. Ambetsa, Adaka. His momentum is slowed down. Brian Tanga arriving at the breakdown. Kubu, Dukisa, Musoga, Okoth. Good ball movement from Kabras Sugar, eating up acres of KCB space, but that is Kevin Wekesa marshaled into touch. That's a big carry from KCB, but they are deep inside their half, and then they are penalized. And like you said, the fine margins once again coming into play. From the initial knock-on in the line-out, it is KCB who will have possession for the scrum down. And I think from this play, KCB have to exit. They have possession, but they are deep in their territory.
Sure, Kwambo, that's the only call you can have here. They're way too deep into their 22. From the previous phase of the game, they did the same thing. There was a rush defense on Dukiza, but he succeeded in stepping the defender, and that's how they managed to string a couple of phases that resulted in what you're seeing here. So the rush defense also has to be spot on, not just exiting for the sake of it. It has to be a sure kick, tactical kick that gives the receiver of the ball no chance, no options.
Certainly it is a Kabras ball from this scrum down. They are in prime real estate. should they get this try, they will definitely be in a suitable position to stay in contention to defend the Kenya Cup. But it is KCB getting the ball. Darwin Mukidza with a kick downfield. Another penalty. There was an elbow in that phase of play. Dan Sikuta. So ball is on the floor. Again, the decision, is it territory, is it points? Well, the trusted boot of Darwin Mukidza. It's a big kick from Darwin Mukidza, and for the it's a big kick, has distance, it is between the sticks, all to play for 9-9. KCB not out of this. It is an arm wrestle, Toili.
It's a reset, we are starting again, and gives hope to the KCB fans who've traveled all the way from Nairobi, of course outnumbered by the Kabras Sugar who are hosting these finals, but just goes to show Kabras that it's going to be a long evening. Nice hoisted kick, just making it to the 10. And Kabras look to set up play from here. They're already into KCB's half. Dukiza with a grabber, always employed it with a lot of success, and this time pinned KCB back into their own 22, and KCB find themselves defending immediately after posting 3 points on the board.
And as we speak, a number of changes rafted there by Kabras Sugar. They bring on Asuman Mugerwa, Emmanuel Otieno, and Teddy Akala into the front row. A complete sweep of their front row. Just looking for that energy heading into the final 15 or so minutes of the game. It is tight. It is all square. It is 9-9. No tries between the two teams. It is the Kenya Cup final, live from Kakamega. KCB also making changes in their forwards. Griffin Musila and TJ Okidia coming on for Oscar Simiu and Wilfred Waswa respectively. It will be interesting, that battle in the front row, because it will be Teddy Akala up against Griffin Musila, both alumnuses of the Kakamega High School. So it will be interesting to see how that battle goes.
Yeah, and both players are good ball carriers. They have good soft hands. They can pass wide, they can step, just having an extra back in the forwards. And it's going to turn out to be a good arm wrestle between the two of them. But KCB are now under the pump, having to defend this line out just outside their 5-yard. Let's see how they get out of this.
Certainly, it is a big ball for both teams. Should Kabras get themselves in possession, they are certainly in prime real estate. They will be looking to attack, but it is kept by KCB. That was Davis Chenge. And from the mall, they'll be looking for clean ball. Andrew Amonde, the servant of Kenyan rugby. The ball is on the floor. Kabras have forced the turnover from Amonde's carry into contact. Kabras are suddenly finding themselves in prime property within striking range of the try line. They continue to drive forward. The penalty advantage is with Kabras Sugar. It is one of the replacements, Emmanuel Otieno, the former Impala man, getting into combat and already picking up a bloody nose. But remember again, rugby is a contact sport. So Kabras looking to keep it tight. As you can hear, the passionate Kabras fans obviously looking to make calls, but remember it is the players on the field who will decide what move that they are pulling. But there's a lot of potency, a lot of intent, even from the body language of Jone Kubu. Looks like he's going to be involved.
Shaban, it is Shaban.
They will be looking to target the KCB flyer, Shaban. That's a big drive from the Kabras forwards. KCB on the back foot. That was decisive from Asati. Kabras with the advantage. Kubu. And the penalty is awarded. KCB caught offside. And remember, this game is graced by the presence of the governor of Kakamega County, Fernandez Baraza, and is also being watched by the Minister of Rugby, Arigio Biero. Play continues here at the Kakamega Showground. Another big drive for the Sugarmen. They are looking for the 5 points. This is decisive. Any moment that ball, that is Tanga sniping at the base. Slowed down by Peter Kilonzo. Kabras keeping the ball alive. Jone Kubu at scrum half. Plays it out wide. The ball is in possession. It still is Kabras driving forward. Nyambua brought to the floor. Kabras spreading the KCB defense. The kick downfield. Dukisa looking for territory. The weighted ball doesn't matter because the referee was playing advantage. Penalty advantage for Kabras Sugar. 2 men on the floor. Once again, high-speed trains colliding there. It has been a battle here. It is all square. 9-9. The Kenya Cup final coming to you from the Kakamega Showground.
Yes, the amount, the sacrifice that these players, give to play in this game. You can see how they throw their bodies on the line. High impact rugby, high impact contact. They are far much fitter, and the collisions are quite massive. that occasions the many breaks that you're seeing and witnessing in the second half of this game.
Certainly, as another break in play there. I believe that is Peter Kilonzo. Peter Kilonzo, an astute defender, plays in the midfield. And he got into that collision once again with George Nambua. Just shows you the intensity of this game. Has been brutal in the contact areas. We may not always get the close-ups, but certainly both teams are throwing everything at each other.
Kabras looking to close this game. They have been in this territory for a while, and KCB at the risk of incurring a yellow card for repeated infringement in the red zone. So whatever play that Kabras are going to pull here, KCB have to make it very clean. I don't see them getting another penalty without a resultant yellow card. Even looking at the penalty count, KCB already on 17 penalties in this game compared to only 9 from Kabras. Goes to show you how indiscipline is playing a big role in this game. That's why you see now KCB in the second half have basically been pinned in their own half.
The advantage is still with Kabras. They are in the strike zone, but the game remains all square. This will be a big scrum for Kabras Sugar. Play finally resuming here. And in front of their home fans, they are eating up territory. The crowd is excited. And the penalty try is awarded.
Penalty try awarded to Kabras Sugar for repeated infringements at the scrum in the red zone, and KCB find themselves now 7 points behind. Of course, a penalty try comes without a kick conversion for the try. It's a full 7-pointer, and now the momentum is with Kabras. We also know that a yellow card has been given because of that infringement. Number 17,
Thomas Okidia, barely minutes into action after coming off the bench, is sent to the sin bin for KCB. So it's 14-man KCB trailing by 7 points against 15-man Kabras Sugar. This is the Kenya Cup final coming to you from the Kakamega Showground in Kakamega County. Certainly has been an arm wrestle, and it will be difficult for the 14 men of KCB to show up now against the 15 men of Kabras heading into the decisive moments of the match.
Yes, however, KCB still have it in them to come back in these matches. Remember, both times they won, they came back from huge differentials against Kabras. So they'll think within themselves they have it to win.
Certainly they do have possession. This is Oscar Simiu, carries the ball into the 22 for the Bankers. This is a big drive from KCB, looking for an immediate response. Mike Wanjala on as a replacement for Samuel Asati, delivers that ball. He is looking for it again. Wanjala has Shaban Ahmed in sight, but plays it to Davis Chenge. No ground gained there, but the penalty is awarded to the Bankers. 16-9. So do you go for points? Do you go for the try?
There's still sufficient time. I think they should go for the points and then receive the kickoff, do another proper exit, come back in Kabras territory. The game still is within reach if they take the 3 points.
Certainly. And as we speak, the Kabras Sugar fans in full voice. The traveling KCB fans, quiet. But it is KCB with the advantage with the territory and possession. So the big question from this penalty for KCB, they are short in numbers in the scrum. They have a penalty in front of the posts. But what do they do?
Take the penalty, utilize the full minute for the penalty, buy time so that they can get their man back in. Because if they go for a scrum, it means they have to do a substitution, get one man off from the backs so that they can get a prop coming in to stabilize the scrum. And who knows, it's been a seesaw in the scrum feeds. It might just be a reversal penalty, something might happen, an infringement, and from getting 3 points and closing the gap to 4, they may just find themselves coming out without any points.
Certainly, and play continuing here. The atmosphere in the stands is a good showcase, not only for Kenyan rugby, but for Kenyan sport. And the Bankers, yes, the penalty has been awarded. And they'll be looking to tap and go. That is ambitious of KCB, but again, it is a cup final. Use whatever opportunities that you get. Wanjala, Shaban Ahmed. This is Shaban Ahmed. Carries that ball a meter forward. Stopped barely short of the try, and the ball is spilt. And the advantage and momentum is lost for KCB. You can see the elation from the Kabras players. They were well aware of the threat of being on the back foot.
Indeed, Kwambo, and KCB rolled the dice and ended up on the wrong side of it. They will come out from here without anything. This is only their third visit into Kabras 22, showing you that it's so hard for them to get there, and leaving empty-handed is a huge disappointment for KCB bench.
Definitely, it all boils down to game management. Kabras obviously managing this game better than the Bankers, and that is the reason they are ahead. Harsh words, but they have to be said. It will be a Kabras scrum feed, and they are definitely going to exit from here. If they are ambitious, they'll look to attack from deep in their 22. As the weather has changed, it's overcast here. It's a big drive. The ball is loose. Tanga, Dukisa. This is electric there. Bryson Adaka loses that ball, but the referee calling for the earlier infringement. Certainly Kabras outwitting KCB.
Yeah, KCB under the pump here, even though they are still in Kabras 22, but Kabras doing the right things, executing it with near perfection and having their exit. So they are playing a very controlled game, and KCB really running out of time.
And time is of the essence. 7 points separating the two teams. Kabras on the verge of making a first successful defense of their Kenya Cup title, on the verge of defeating KCB for the first time in a Kenya Cup final. 16 points to 9 they lead here at the Kakamega Showground. A capacity crowd, a great game of rugby, great atmosphere, a great take of the ball by Kabras Sugar as they drive forward just past the halfway line. The ball is spilled there by Teddy Akala, took his eyes off the ball for a minute. And after all the kudos, all the praise, the commentator's curse striking there. Remember, this is the 16th meeting in the Kenya Cup between the two sides. 11 have ended in victories for KCB, the other 4 for Kabras. There's been 1 draw, but as we speak, it is Kabras with the advantage, leading by 7 points. Precious little left in this game. Big question is, can they hold on to the lead, or will we see a fight back from the bankers? This is Olindi, has been quiet this afternoon, brought to the floor. Victor Dwar will be calling for the infringement. Advantage KCB holding the ball there. Replacement scrum half, the experienced Michael Wanjala Waliaula. KCB going for territory. Another roll of the dice for the bankers. And quickly taken penalty there. Andrew Amonde, try line in sight. Brought to the floor. KCB surging forward. The anxiety, the indiscipline at the floor, costing KCB territory, possession, and the ascendancy. KCB back to their full complement of 15 players, but again spending a try-scoring opportunity.
Yeah, KCB very determined to put the points on the board through a try, and in the process, you know, you need a lot of perfection for you to execute when the game has not had a try. But the game is very interesting. Strange that even after losing a man, the whole 10 minutes they have spent in Kabras half. So it tells you that they are pumped up for the game, and it should make for an interesting last few minutes here.
Indeed, but if they look at their profit and loss account at the moment, the losses more than the profits, not a good sign for the bankers.
Yeah, not really having returns, not having favor in terms of what they have invested their time on. And Kabras keep gifting KCB possession and territory over the last 10 minutes. It's KCB need to be clinical. They have to decide whether they want to win the game through a try or they can chase down using the points that are on offer.
If you're Kabras, what do you do? The waves of attacks from KCB coming through in the past few minutes.
Kabras have been rushing their exit play and trying to play out in the hope that they have more numbers because of the yellow card. And twice they have tried to do that, they have failed to get the last pass accurately. So they just need to calm down, control the game, get a good exit, and then keep KCB in their half.
Certainly KCB fielding that ball. The replacements, Michael Wanjala, darting run from Wanjala. Also on for the final minutes is Michael Kimwele, has been a regular starter for the bankers this season, but started off the bench this afternoon. KCB driving forward. This is Okidia. Big carry from the prop forward, back from the sin bin. Steve Wamae, another big carry from the forward. Brian Munyali looking to breach the Kabras 22. The change of direction there, KCB staying alive. Davis Chenge beats two men, goes to the floor. KCB's discipline on the floor will be critical. They are going in search of their try, but it's not going to happen because the penalty advantage is against them. Probably the last roll of the dice. This is reminiscent of the 2004 Kenya Cup final between KCB and Impala. Impala winning that one 21-17. KCB having the possession for the last 20 minutes, but knocking on the try line with 3 minutes to play, and Impala winning that season. Same things happening here. Probably the nerves, probably the anticipation. Maybe you can tell us more.
Yeah, a lot of things come into play, come into a player's mind, especially at these last stages of the game. And whoever is able to handle their nervousness better are able to close the game. KCB getting playing in the right territory, and you just wonder if they had taken the 3 points and they had been back here, they would have been in with a shout with a 4 points difference. Now they can only look forward to getting a try, because the game is clearly ebbing away.
Definitely it is slipping away. 7 points the difference. Precious little left. Nerves. A lot of nerves on the pitch. Pregnant expectation from the Kabras fans in the stands. That was a big carry from Walter Okoth. Brian Tanga. Deceptive run from Tanga. Brian Tanga is running through. Brilliant from the Kenya Sevens international. KCB on the back foot, the penalty advantage with Kabras Sugar. Are we signing Kabras Sugar as the winners of the Kenya Cup in 2023?
I think so. That tackle was quite harsh. I think we'll be seeing a yellow card being dished out here. It was a rather high tackle with a high velocity, but you can surely say that Kabras have their one hand and maybe 3 fingers of the left hand on the trophy at this moment, because they are right ahead of the post. They can put the game to rest with a penalty here.
Definitely, it has been an entertaining match, has been an emotional match. It has been end-to-end stuff, and Kabras keeping their cool under all that pressure from KCB. And when they got the ball, this is their first foray into the KCB 22 in about 10 minutes. And they suddenly had everybody panicking.
And that was all down to the confidence that Tanga brings. Remember, he got the ball from the scrum half and attacked the line straight up, and then stepped back in because of overshooting by the KCB defense. And from that point, it was a highway. Desperate tackle there by the fullback, but the supporting defending player made a high tackle. And we are waiting to see what the referee will say about that.
Certainly, as the Kabras fans definitely going to enjoy their cup of tea tonight with a packet of Kabras Sugar. For KCB fans, they're looking at their bank balance and it's not looking good. But this has been a fairly fought contest. But one team, like you said, the team that gets the try, definitely looking like they're running away with it. And it looks at this moment, it is Kabras Sugar. But let us not be presumptuous. The penalty in front of the posts. Definitely this 3 points will certainly put Kabras away, definitely secure their account this afternoon and a second Kenya Cup title. Let's wait for the kick. I'll be bringing in Steve Maruti, match official, to just give us some insights as we come to the end of the game. But first, let's wait for the kick. Dukisa is not going to make a mistake. Look at the crowds. They are ecstatic. Time taking away. Steve Maruti, you've been in this game. Your take on what you've seen over the 78 or so minutes of the match?
Thank you very much, Kwambo. Nice game. Bit tipsy-turvy about the game. As a seesaw, looking at what Kabras is doing and what KCB is doing. The officiating is on point. Whatever the calls are coming, KCB
running forward. This is massive from the bunkers, looking to breach the Kabras try line. The hand signal from Victor Duor is what we're waiting for. Kabras throwing the bodies on the line, driving back the KCB. It is the 15 men of KCB against the 15 men of Kabras. The ball is played close by the bankers. Brian Munyali, 1 meter gained. Johnston Olindi, the show and go from the Kenya Sevens international. He's brought to the floor. KCB securing the ruck. Thomas Okidia. As Kabras hold on, they do have a 10-point cushion. KCB need to score 2 converted tries to win this game. But first, they need to keep possession, which they are doing. They're eating territory. As soon as we spoke about keeping possession, they give it away.
Yeah, I think that was it for KCB. Hard work, a lot of faces, but you can only do that for so long because KCB.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the final whistle. Sugar is sweet. Bank accounts are depleted. It is Kabras Sugar defending the Kenya Cup title. Their 3rd overall, their 2nd in succession, their first victory over KCB in a Kenya Cup final. Sweet victory for the bankers. Sweet victory for the Sugarmen, not the bankers. Sweet victory for Kabras Sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, the full-time score, Kabras Sugar 19, KCB 9. And that is it from the Kakamega Showground in Kakamega County.